Your Mercedes-Benz is a marvel of engineering, a symphony of metal, glass, and high-tech components working together to deliver a luxurious driving experience. But even the most sophisticated machines need regular maintenance to perform at their best. One crucial service often overlooked is the transmission service. The transmission is the heart of your car's powertrain, responsible for transferring the engine's power to the wheels. Over time, the transmission fluid that lubricates and cools this complex system can break down, becoming contaminated with metal shavings and debris. This degradation can lead to reduced performance, rough shifting, and even catastrophic transmission failure. Regular transmission service is the key to keeping your Mercedes shifting smoothly and reliably for years to come. By following the steps outlined in this guide, you can save yourself a significant amount of money and extend the life of your vehicle's transmission. Remember, a well-maintained transmission is a happy transmission, and a happy transmission means a happy Mercedes owner. Before you begin your DIY transmission service, it's essential to gather all the necessary tools and materials. Having everything on hand will make the process smoother and more efficient. Here's a checklist of what you'll need: a socket set with a variety of sizes, a torque wrench, a drain pan, a funnel, new transmission fluid, check your owner's manual for the correct type and amount, a new transmission filter, a new transmission pan gasket, if applicable, shop rags, safety glasses, and gloves. It's also a good idea to have your owner's manual handy for reference. The manual will provide specific information about your particular Mercedes model, such as the location of the transmission drain plug and the torque specifications for tightening bolts. Preparing your Mercedes and your workspace properly is crucial for a successful transmission service. This step involves gathering the necessary tools and materials, ensuring a clean and organized work area, and taking safety precautions. First and foremost, park your Mercedes on a level surface and engage the parking brake. This will prevent the car from rolling while you're working on it. Next, allow the engine to cool down completely before proceeding. Working on a hot engine can result in severe burns. Once the engine has cooled, locate the transmission fluid dipstick, usually marked with a distinct color or label. Pull out the dipstick and inspect the fluid condition. If it appears dark, smells burnt, or has a gritty texture, it's a clear indication that your transmission fluid needs changing. Lifting your Mercedes correctly is essential for accessing the transmission pan and performing the service safely. Always prioritize safety when working under a lifted vehicle. Start by locating the designated jack points on your Mercedes. These are reinforced areas on the vehicle's undercarriage designed to handle the weight of the car during lifting. Consult your owner's manual if you're unsure where to find them. Position your floor jack under the designated jack point and slowly raise the vehicle. Once the car is high enough, secure it on jack stands placed at the appropriate jack points. Never work under a vehicle solely supported by a jack. Always use jack stands for safety. With the car securely lifted, double-check the stability of the jack stands. Ensure they are placed on a flat, solid surface and that the vehicle is stable before proceeding with the service. Section 5. Out with the old, draining the transmission fluid. With your Mercedes safely lifted and secured, you can now begin draining the old transmission fluid. Remember to wear gloves and safety glasses to protect yourself from hot fluid and potential splashes. Locate the transmission drain plug, usually found on the bottom of the transmission pan. Position your drain pan directly below the drain plug to catch the old fluid. Using a socket wrench, carefully loosen and remove the drain plug. Allow the old transmission fluid to drain completely into the pan. This process might take some time, so be patient. While the fluid is draining, take the opportunity to inspect the drain plug for any metal shavings or debris. Excessive metal shavings could indicate internal transmission problems that require further investigation by a qualified mechanic. Section 6. Filter swap. Replacing the heart of the system. With the old transmission fluid drained, it's time to replace the transmission filter. The filter plays a crucial role in trapping contaminants and ensuring the smooth operation of your Mercedes transmission. Carefully lower the transmission pan, which is usually held in place by a few bolts. Be prepared for any remaining fluid to spill out as you lower the pan. Once the pan is removed, you'll see the old transmission filter. Depending on your Mercedes model, the filter might be a cartridge type that inserts into a housing or a spin-on type that threads onto the valve body. Remove the old filter and install the new one according to the manufacturer's instructions. If your Mercedes has a filter housing, ensure it's clean before installing the new filter. Section 7. Fluid up. Refilling with fresh transmission fluid. With the new filter securely in place, it's time to refill the transmission with fresh fluid. This step is crucial for ensuring the proper operation and longevity of your Mercedes transmission. Before refilling, clean the transmission pan thoroughly, removing any old gasket material and debris. If your Mercedes has a reusable pan gasket, inspect it for damage and replace it if necessary. Carefully reinstall the transmission pan, ensuring the gasket is properly seated. Tighten the pan bolts to the manufacturer's specified torque. Using a funnel, pour the recommended amount and type of transmission fluid into the transmission fill hole. The fill hole is usually located on the side of the transmission and might have a dipstick attached. Section 8. Transmission troubles. Common mistakes to avoid. Even with the best intentions, DIY transmission service can sometimes lead to unexpected issues. By being aware of common mistakes, you can avoid potential headaches and ensure a successful service. One common mistake is over-tightening the drain plug or pan bolts. Over-tightening can strip the threads or crack the pan, leading to leaks. Always use a torque wrench and refer to your owner's manual for the correct torque specifications. Another mistake is using the wrong type or amount of transmission fluid. Using the incorrect fluid can result in poor shifting performance, transmission damage, and even void your warranty. Always consult your owner's manual or a trusted Mercedes specialist to determine the correct fluid for your specific model. Lastly, neglecting to check the fluid level after refilling can lead to serious problems. Ensure the transmission fluid level is within the specified range on the dipstick. Section 9. Shifting into high gear tips for optimal performance. After completing your DIY transmission service, there are a few additional tips to ensure optimal performance and extend the life of your Mercedes transmission. Firstly, avoid aggressive driving habits such as rapid acceleration and hard braking. These habits put unnecessary stress on the transmission, leading to premature wear and tear. Secondly, consider adding a transmission cooler, especially if you frequently tow heavy loads or live in a hot climate. A transmission cooler helps regulate fluid temperature, preventing overheating and extending fluid life. Lastly, stick to a regular transmission service schedule. Consult your owner's manual for the recommended service intervals for your specific Mercedes model. Regular service is the key to a long and healthy life for your transmission.